The colonies fight for independence. The American Revolution was a significant period in world history that took place between 1765 and 1783. It was a war fought by the 13 original colonies against Great Britain, their mother country. The fight was for independence, liberty, and sovereignty. The American Revolution was a turning point in the history of the United States, and it laid the foundation for the country to become one of the most powerful nations on the planet. The American Revolution was not an overnight occurrence. It was the result of a series of events that led the colonists to revolt against the British. One of the most significant events that led to the revolution was the Stamp Act of 1765. The Stamp Act required the colonists to pay tax on printed materials such as legal documents, newspapers, and even playing cards. This created resentment among the colonists, and they started to speak out against the British. In 1773, the British government passed the Tea Act, which allowed the British East India Company to sell tea directly to the colonists. This resulted in a boycott of British tea, and the colonists started to smuggle tea from other countries. In response, the British government passed the Coercive Acts, which closed the port of Boston and placed the colony under military rule. The colonists saw this as a violation of their rights, and it led to the First Continental Congress in 1774. The First Continental Congress was a meeting of delegates from the 13 colonies, which was held in Philadelphia. The delegates discussed the British policies and decided to boycott British goods until their rights were guaranteed. When the British did not respond, the Second Continental Congress was held in 1775, which was the beginning of the American Revolution. The battles of the American Revolution were fought on the land and the sea. The first battle was fought at Lexington and Concord on April 19, 1775. This battle marked the beginning of the war, and it resulted in the British retreat to Boston. The colonists formed an army, and George Washington was appointed as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. The American Revolution was fought on many fronts, but the most significant battle was the Battle of Saratoga in 1777. This battle was fought between the British Army and the Continental Army, and it resulted in the first major American victory. This battle was significant because it convinced the French to support the colonists. The French Navy and Army provided critical support to the colonists, and they played a significant role in the Battle of Yorktown in 1781. The Battle of Yorktown was the last major battle of the American Revolution, and it resulted in the surrender of the British Army. The Treaty of Paris was signed in 1783, which recognized the United States as an independent nation. The American Revolution was a significant event in world history, and it had far-reaching consequences. It inspired other countries to fight for their independence and contributed to the development of democracy around the world. The American Revolution also paved the way for the abolition of slavery and the establishment of civil rights in the United States. In conclusion, the American Revolution was a fight for independence, liberty, and sovereignty. It was the result of a series of events that led the colonists to revolt against the British. The American Revolution was fought on many fronts, and it was a turning point in the history of the United States. The American Revolution inspired other countries to fight for their independence, and it contributed to the development of democracy around the world. The American Revolution was a historic event, and it will always be remembered as the time when the colonies fought for their independence.